Why is it always this character that's doing some broken tech? What's poppin', everyone? It's your boy Levi, and Hero's Record took over the end of Season 8 as one of the best accessory items. Pretty much, unless you were a mage running Sykes Blade, Hero's Record was a viable option for most characters. Let's look back at how busted it was on Sissela. We should all be familiar with right-click Sissela by now, right? I'm gonna go over it anyways. Also, every other game has a TikTok version for characters played the way they aren't intended to be played, so I'm gonna be calling this TikTok Sissela. You heard it here first. Sissela's passive is Agony. When she's low on HP, she gains bonus HP regen and skill amp. Hero's Record is a mythic item that comes as a battle zone reward. You consume 300 HP to become pledged. Then you recover HP and gain 18% Omni Siphon and 27 attack power. This has since been nerfed since the end of the season, but those were the stats from when this was broken. This also scales with lower HP and higher level. It's basically an anti-die button for Sissela. AP characters use this item better than AMP characters, so that's why we're playing Bonk Sissela. Sissela's E is the only main ability you need. Way back on the channel, I did a video of Bonk Sissela where I talked about how you can Q and then E yourself to keep getting repetitive shields. Well, you actually don't even need to Q yourself. If you E in a direction and instantly start right-clicking to walk in that direction, Sissela will actually start walking faster than the E tether comes out, and you'll E yourself. This will briefly self-stun you, but it is much quicker than QE comboing yourself. Combo all this with the healing factor augment to increase the healing and shielding you do, and you have a powerful kiting machine. Bonk Sissela has a ton of early game power, so you're going to want to show up to Night 1 Meteorite. We're going to be using this for the new item, Cowboy Hat. It's a funny new item which gives us more attack speed, which is the best stat on this build. Honestly, a few basic attacks should be enough to poke anyone off the Meteorite. If they greed for it, you'll probably just straight up kill them. I took the Meteorite and ignored Atasia since she didn't have her glass stacked up, and upgraded my Cowboy Hat. I got into a fight with a Chloe, which realistically is a bad matchup, but you're just so strong in the early game I was able to fend her off. I didn't get the kill, but you want to make sure that you're not caught fighting right when the day ends because you have to make it to the day 2 battle zone. Hero's Record is what makes this build the build, and you can only get it as a battle zone reward. I probably could have killed this Yuki too if I chased, but the battle zone is way more important. You'll want to go to the shield battle zone. I play this fight horribly, and you can see the power of this build still. I'm basically fighting a Leon in melee range and still outdueling him. The Vanya also stood no chance. So we have Hero's Record now. Did I mention that you can use Hero's Record while in your bubble, so it's a guaranteed heal? I go to a hotel to farm out some hunts and to call in a Tree of Life. Meteorites from this point aren't going to do much. You're going to want trees and mithrils. Your options for trees are Antioch, Radar, and Alexander. I like to go Radar with my first tree, because between the upgraded Cowboy Hat and Radar, it feels like the perfect amount of attack speed. Next, I would go Antioch. Crit is good, but it's not overly important, and the basic attack amp will help a lot. I usually go Forestry for it, but I was unfortunately a little too slow. The wolves were taken at a weird time, so they were here at night. I took them, and we're at a nice 14 mastery for Omega. At Omega, a Yuki picked a fight with me, and I think we both thought it was going to be a 1v1. A Bianca comes in with the third party and nukes both of us. Here you can see Hero's Record shine as I heal basically to full health. Can't say the same for that Yuki though. Bianca gets the kill on him, but she has no way of cutting through my healing, so I take her down too. She did get her ult down before she died, and it helps me take down the 4th party Luke. Yeah. The hidden benefit of Hero's Record too is that it's an anti-third party item as well. You're pretty much always going to win the politic war if you start healing the full mid-fight. I take the Alexander off the Luke and take Omega. I call in a tree for Antioch and hold on to Fourscore until I can make Guardian suit. Now I do some head-ass shit here, and I definitely don't recommend you do this in your games. This is the ultimate definition of for content, and it really puts the TikTok in this video. I full send Wick without vision because I wanted to show off how Bonk Sissela's Wick take was. It's decently fast, but I don't kill it. I let Wick take me hella low because I wanted to show again how busted Hero's Record healing is, because you know, that last fight wasn't a good indication or anything. And then Nadine shows up. This is entirely on me, my fault. I'll hold that. I get away barely with my life and give the Wick up to Nadine and make this game 50 times harder for myself. Lovely. As stated, I opted for Guardian suit with the Force Core because the Nadine basic attacks are going to hurt. I take some hunts in alley and prepare for final zone. The one counterplay to Hero's Record is burst damage. If you straight up just get one shot, this item essentially does nothing. It's really bad into assassins and burst mages. You definitely want a drawn out fight where you can heal over time, and to be honest, Sissela is pretty good at creating those. With a crit Nadine and a Vanya being the only ones left, I wasn't too worried about getting one shot. I ate some warning shots from the Nadine and decided that the Wick buff was a little bit too strong for me at the moment. Bonk has a pretty good fight into Vanya. It's hard to get her burst through our shield, and we can keep her at range. If she hits the sleep on us, we can just bubble it. Vanya wanted no part of us though, so she retreated to the other zone. So it was us versus Nadine once again, and Hero's Record shines. Yeah, this item is absolutely busted, and even characters that shouldn't be able to use it can use it. I transitioned fully to crit, so you can see just how hard crit Sis bonks for the final fight. She throws nuclear bombs at her enemies. Thankfully this preseason, the item got nerfed. It definitely makes the characters OP. But maybe you like using OP items in games. If that's the case, you should click or tap the screen now. I recently did a video showcasing one of the most overpowered items that we've ever seen in Eternal Return. Ever. It's also a rant style video. Be sure to check that out to hear me yell.